There's this energy of something that wasn't accessible to you for a long time that you should have been accessible to. You know, it should have been accessible to you. And I'm seeing justice coming in, a lot of balance coming in. And it started within. Like you started merging lots of paradoxes you thought you had about yourself and beliefs here and loved them. The good and the so-called not good part of you that other people maybe ridiculed, but you were there because you were supposed to be in those energies, even though it was so lonely for you. It's like when a cat goes on you. When a cat goes on you when you're in pain, or if they're in a certain environment, they stay there for a bit to neutralize that energy so that the energy can be returned and neutralize it into positive or negative again, but whatever it needs to. So it's like you were in the situation where you're always shining bright and neutralizing and bringing positivity and lessons to them. But those people were not grateful. They weren't aware. There was a lot of like power and control games with them that I feel like you've always been a warrior. You're always someone like, you know, if you've been bullied or you feel like there's hierarchy or authorities, you've always been the first one to shut that shit down. Like you're not going to allow people to act like they're better than anyone else. You've had unique life circumstances growing up that have really shown you the other side of something that maybe a lot of people don't see. And because of that, you treat people accordingly. So you treat people with respect no matter who they are, because you know they could be angels entertaining us. But you're also, because you know no one's better than anyone else. You maybe went through some bullying, or you had someone in your life that was really going through it, and you feel a lot. You're very sensitive to it. That's why a lot of people are not going to like you either, because you bring truth, you bring justice, you stand in your power. You know who you are as well. You're not trying to pretend to be anything else. People can sense that about you. There's not much that can knock you off course. Within the last few months, it feels like people have just stop talking to you completely, which is probably the best thing that could have happened for you because of their energy. And so I don't even feel like you're missing that energy. Like you kind of knew and you're kind of relieved that the energy kind of walked away. People being resentful or people being jealous, this energy of just really being to yourself. I feel like you haven't had time for yourself in a long while, and it's been nice to get to know yourself again. We have love. So it's like you've really started to love yourself, and you really seen the mirror and who you are differently. And it's like you've transformed, but it's because of you've transformed inside. You're looking at yourself in the mirror as a friend, as someone that you love instead of an enemy or someone you need to pick apart. You know, don't be familiarity. Don't let familiarity breed contempt for yourself when you look in the mirror. You know, not just looking in the mirror, but like what our body does for us, right? Breathing, or, you know, keeping us alive even when, you know, we are feeling so negative inside, or we're scared and we have overwhelming feelings. So it's like this other energy of revival, getting in touch with your feelings. It's like this thawing out from spring, but also trusting yourself and your body and trusting your emotions and respecting those, respecting the way that you react to things and the emotional way you react to things, but also within your body. Maybe you were really shunned growing up, or you were really, really shut down with your emotions to an abnormally not energy here that it was to an extent that was just really, you felt silenced and you internalized that for a long time. And it's not, I understand that, you know, it's this energy. Why wouldn't you, right? If that's all you're really seeing. But you also had this faith, and we have Weaver here. You're weaving. I have a post actually about a spider web, and just, you know, people are trying to trap you in the web, but you weaved your own beautiful pattern, and you're leaving with abundance. You've got a harp and you've got a baby, and there's also someone playing a violin here. So you might be someone who's really good at playing instruments here. Music's really connected to you. I feel like you're a singer, because I saw a singer with the Three of Cups, and you really just shine. But I feel like literally you've been silenced. Your voice, your singing, you know, people made you nervous, and you internalized that, and it might have done something to your throat chakra here. You might have dreams about white horses here coming towards you. You've definitely gone through some quantum leaps and quantum jumps, maybe even overnight or the last 2-3 weeks here. But you've done a lot of psychic Psychic healing here. You very much listen to your intuition. There's the mirror again, the mirror being confirmation here. Looking into this enchanted mirror, but looking at it differently. Tobacco, we've got offering here, and motherwort, strength. Yeah, you've really tapped into your feminine and masculine energies, or your receiving and giving energies, whatever you'd like to call it here. And it's really going to balance things out in your life now. What you've done within is going to come into your community. I'm seeing 2 cards were showing commune and community. So this is the second one, kind of really letting us know that that's really important. A blessing's coming to you. And communication. Whenever I see mushrooms, it always reminds me of communication, because mushrooms are very good at communicating with each other. And completion. So there's, yeah, something's closing out here. It's quantum leap. Something's closing out to bring in a beautiful new reality, because you're here to help the energy burn anything down that's not working, you know, and bring and build and grow what is. But you can't do that unless you bring the awareness and you're able to pinpoint what's toxic and what needs to be rooted out, you know. We have initiation here. So another, it's like a beautiful energy of love. Mountains here is also very interesting and really much connecting, as well as hummingbirds. And Peru here for some of you. And then as I say Ru, it's Ru, protection. And the lion coming up very strongly here. But yeah, you're very, the infinity sign as well. You're very divinely connected. So keep praying. I feel like you've been praying. You've been doing a lot of, you know, manifestations and spoken word, poetry. Continue to do that. Use your voice, you know, even when it's scary, because that is your key to freedom, to passion, to love, to connecting to this new magical, you know, you're connected to the magician here. You are the magician. And you've done it with just so much grace. Ciao.